on the way out, I heard several people talking about the Dvorak.
John meant to say the Schumann.
La Jolla, where I have just attended a free to the public summer music recital featuring the Chopin Fantasy in F minor, Opus 49, played by Ying Li, pianist, and the Schumann Piano Quartet in E flat major, Opus 47, played by an unnamed piano quartet, and the Dvorak string quartet in A flat major, Opus 105, played by the Callisto Quartet. And so I couldn't help thinking that the Fantasy in F minor, the beginning of the program, should have been might well have been referred to as the Wanderer Fantasy, because we had so many people coming in late, which is an indication, I think, of parking availability in La Jolla, as opposed to an inattentive audience or people who are deliberately late. I don't think that's the case. It's just very tight parking around here. So if you're coming to the Conrad, you're going to want to take that into account, because you'll want to. I parked about 2 blocks away on the street and managed to walk here in about 8 minutes. So not exactly putting a foot under it, but I didn't want to arrive all sweaty. And I didn't. But be aware of the parking limitations in La Jolla. The Ying Li's performance of the Chopin was absolutely lovely, incredibly delicate, incredibly pearl-like tones that she elicited, and I mean, if she's not a titan of the piano, I mean, just given the size of her physical being, she's certainly, equal to Chopin's lyricism in every way, and it was plenty dramatic. So that was my compliments to the chef. That was absolutely fantastic. She whipped up quite a frappe in the Fantasy. The Dvorak by the Callisto Quartet, I had a few reservations about, just based on what we talked about the other night. The trade-off with physicality. I don't know. There seemed to be a few stray notes going on in there somewhere. Maybe that was just over enthusiasm, because and the chromaticism involved in the Dvorak, some almost, I don't know, Debussy-like, pre-Debussy-like chord changes and chords that he builds. I don't know. I wasn't quite as enthusiastic about that, but I'll reserve judgment when I really want to hear them in Beethoven. However, I think also on the way out, I heard several people talking about the Dvorak.
John meant to say the Schumann.
And that, I think, was the highlight of the program. Interestingly, getting back to those PDQ Bach moments, well, not PDQ Bach, but the opening motive of the Dvorak
Schumann
is the first 4 notes of Finlandia. Da-dee-da-da, and you could just go on. Da-dee-da-dum-da-da-da. And again, did Sibelius expand on a motive and say, that sounds like the beginning of a chorale tune to me? I mean, it's very possible. And he built on it and turned it into something else. But so that was really entertaining to hear that. The everything. One thing I did notice sitting upstairs this time in the Conrad is that with a piano on stage, there was more noise from the stage, a bit of thumping coming on, possibly from the pedals. I didn't really notice the heels, except of the string players making that noise, but it has to do with the fact that this is a wooden stage and it's resonant, and so it's a little bit drum-like. When you tap it, you can certainly hear them walking off from upstairs. I didn't notice it from downstairs so much, but it is a very resonant stage floor, and so the overall hall is an instrument in itself. I did notice that. I noticed a couple of other things that I wish I could ask some of the players about, which is that there was a goodly bit of straight tone string playing in quiet passages, and I wonder if it's written since a vibrato or if it is actually just a choice. But perhaps I'll have the opportunity to ask. But an incredibly enjoyable afternoon concert. If you get a chance to come down anytime soon and see the Conrad and hear it, you'll hear the hall as well as the players. And I think for a small-sized concert and recital hall, we've acquired something of a gem for the metropolitan San Diego area. So, well, I've only got one hand free to go Classical Rebellion.
Schumann.